Why do so many women lose interest so quickly in dating? Caught up in the moment. Space allows for actual consideration and processing. The one time I did this. Kiss someone at the end of a very passionate date and then decide no later. Was because I realized we had no long-term prospects. But the chemistry was just irresistible. He was committed to moving back to his home country long-term. I don't speak his native language or anything close and don't particularly want to move countries. I'm an English speaker. He is Chinese and wanted to move back after finishing his studies. I also sensed some other small incompatibilities. I knew if we kept dating it would be very hard to let go of him. At best we date a few years and one of us ends up somewhere we don't want to be. At worst we realize actually we annoy each other and then there's a lot of heartbreak there. So I nipped it in the bud. If this is happening over and over again, the logical conclusion is that none of these dates have gone as well as you think. Sometimes you just gotta take the next day to reflect on the date night or feelings simply change. The morning after. I've done the same thing as a guy where I suddenly get cold feet about it the next day lol. Decided she's open to try out kissing and see how it feels. And just have a fun night. No harm no foul. The real pain comes from investing months into someone and them never developing real feelings. I'm having the same issue with men. Except instead of telling me directly like an adult, they lead me on and/or ghost lol. Single quote. Probably talked it over with her friends. Potentially found a red flag. Turn off. Or other reason not to continue. The date itself is step one. But after that comes analysis. There's a good chance of not making it past that step. I wouldn't take it personally at all. Maybe she's just not ready. Couldn't hurt to send another message later saying that you had a great time and thought you totally hit it off. Can she tell you what changed? Well, she's saying something very specific. That she's not feeling attraction. I could be totally off base, but I wonder if the kissing was not to her satisfaction. The feeling wasn't as mutual as you thought. Maybe she wasn't as into it as you thought. Maybe you pushed the physical stuff faster than she wanted and she didn't know how to back out. Maybe you were being aggressive and literally scared her. If you think it happens to you a lot, then you're the common factor. I don't think this was wrong at all. You went on one date with a girl and she let you down the following day. Sometimes we realize early that we aren't interested and it doesn't mean that the other person is horrible or anything, just not a good match for us. She might thought you were good looking so wanted to make out a bit. But then after some reflection decided you weren't what she was looking for personality. Another option is she had 2 dates and both were good but the other was better. Instead of leading you both on, she made the decision and had to give you the let go. Women can be adverse to confrontation. She might have picked up on some things that were deal breakers for her but liked you as a person. In that kind of situation, she may have been more practical minded when you weren't right there. Sometimes it takes a little time and distance to process whether all your values and goals align. It's fine to like someone, but that doesn't automatically mean it's a good match. Just a thought, I could be totally wrong. It wasn't a light switch. She didn't feel that much chemistry when she was on the date. She just figured, well, I've got dressed up and traveled here. Might as well have some fun and enjoy the date. Like if a guy meets with a woman who looks nothing like her photos. And figures they've already made the drive and have nothing better to do. Time to make lemons into lemonade. You were the lemon in this case. If I'm being honest, sometimes I've done this with men when I needed affection. Women pretend well and sometimes will do things they know that they should not be doing. Also, a lot of women feel pressure to rush into things and will act one way when they just don't really mean it. And I guess men to this as well. They just aren't that into you. Don't dwell on it. Keep improving yourself and keep dating. You'll find someone. Isn't just women. I used to do it too. To women. If I found them too boring or unattractive but nice, I'll let them down gently to be nice. I may be making conversation, but in my head, I've already decided how this will end. Your perception of how well a date went will be different to hers. She could have another date lined up, who knows. Don't beat yourself up too much, it's just part of dating. See if you can get some feedback if you can stomach it. Are you a bad kisser? Sorry bro, but that was my first thought. It can be scary for a woman to signal to a man that she's not interested when still physically on a date. From experience, it is easier to act like everything is going great rather than risk being the target of some aggression. Not saying all men get aggressive, but if it happens to you once, it makes you more careful to not let them know you're not interested until you're no longer in person. So you fake it until you can text them from a safe distance. This is just a generalizations from my own experience.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.